How's it going, Star Seekers? I hope you're all doing okay, and welcome back to another SOS indie game review, where today we're going to be taking a look at a game called PAKO Caravan. With a vibrant colour palette and cutesy demeanour, PAKO Caravan is essentially a modern day Snake game, or if you've seen my review on Snaky Bus, it's basically a top-down isometric version of that game. Winding your way through its 15 levels, the game sees you attempting to make the longest trailer chain you can, and tasks you with completing a variety of objectives, all the while avoiding obstacles, pits, and of course your own trailing tail. While it still retains the simplicity and challenge of its origin game, PAKO Caravan blends old and new to bring Snake to the modern era. But is it worth your cash, and does it stand out amongst the thousands of other Snake clones that have sprung up over the past decade? In this review, I aim to answer those questions, so go ahead and grab yourself a brew, pop your feet up, and let's get into it. So as you might expect, a game of this nature doesn't really have and doesn't really need any sort of storyline, so that's one thing that we don't need to cover in this review. At its core, PAKO Caravan is a simple high-score chasing arcade game, but it does feature a few gameplay mechanics which set it aside from your traditional Snake games. Now you likely won't be surprised to find out that the game has been ported from mobile phones to the Switch, so the controls in PAKO Caravan are extremely simple. Your vehicle in the game constantly travels forwards on its own, and the left thumbstick is used to turn it relative to the direction of travel. The Y button applies your handbrake, which slows your vehicle down and allows for sharper turns, and the A button performs a short jump, allowing you to hop over small obstacles and pits, though this does have a short cooldown before it can be used again. Now the basic gameplay premise of PAKO Caravan is simple. You manoeuvre your vehicle around a stage, driving over these spinning trailer pickups to collect them. Trailers appear at random scattered throughout the stage, and each one displays a number which changes every few seconds, indicating the number of additional trailers it'll attach to the back of your current train. Levels themselves feature a bunch of different obstacles for you to avoid, such as trees, houses, barriers and pits, and there are 15 levels in total, featuring different sized landmasses and a variety of visual themes. Now aside from the visual differences, each level sees you controlling a different type of vehicle, which are often themed to match the level's environments, and each vehicle has a distinctly different feel to the way in which it handles and the speed at which it travels. These include things like slow moving tractors for the small farm-like levels, a large aircraft tug on the game's airfield themed stage, and a nippy little forklift to tear ass around a tiny warehouse in. I liked the variety of vehicles that the game had to offer, but I do think it would have been cool if they'd included some way to customise them, which would have also added more incentive to keep playing. Now each level in the game tends to have a unique feature within it, which does add some much needed variety to gameplay. You have things like these rotating platforms with portals at the centre, which transport your vehicle from one location to the other, alien spaceships who steal some of your trailers with the tractor beams, and doors which require a certain number of trailers to open. Every level has a set of 10 objectives for you to complete, and interactions with these stage features usually form a part of these objectives. To give an example, you may need to enter the portals a specific number of times or cut a certain percentage of grass in a stage, and I did enjoy the variety that these kinds of objectives brought to the game. Now there are also a list of standard objectives which you'll encounter in every level, the simplest of these being to build up your trailer to a certain length. The highest number I've seen so far for one of these objectives is 300 trailers, which is pretty damn hard to attain, and you're gonna have to do a whole load of winding and hopping around your own trailer in order to hit this number. In addition to these objectives, you have one which requires you to hit all the orange cones in a level, another where you have to collect letters that spawn at random to form the word caravan, and one which challenges you to find the hidden object in a level which disguises itself as one of the level's obstacles. In all, there's some good variety to missions, and most of them aren't too difficult to complete, which is a good thing, as completing objectives earns you the stars required to open up each level. This star requirement does increase as you work your way through them, but in general progress was steady, and I only had to return to previous levels on the odd occasion to grab a few extra stars. Now overall I had plenty of fun playing PAKO Caravan, and while it doesn't offer the most unique gameplay experience, it certainly tries to mix things up a little and still retains that one more try addictiveness common to all games of this type. When it comes to any issues I encountered with the game, there were actually very few, and it's a pretty solid little title, though the frame rate does appear to struggle at times, making gameplay seem a bit jittery, which isn't great on the eyes. Other than that, I think the game could have done with online leaderboards just to add an element of competition to the game, but it stands well as a game that you can jump in and out of for a few runs whenever you get a spare 5 minutes. When it comes to visuals, I really like the game's vibrant colour palette and cartoony aesthetics, and I think they were well suited for this type of game, making it stand out in the eShop screenshots. Audio wise, we get some decent sound effects and a quirky soundtrack which repeatedly loops, and I found it had a strange kind of hypnotic quality to it, which actually helped me focus more while playing. In all, if you're in the market for a new high score chaser and enjoy snake-like games, I highly recommend giving PAKO Caravan a go. When it comes to my own personal rating of the game, I'm going to be giving PAKO Caravan 3 out of 5 stars, and this would have been a 4-star rating if it hadn't had those frame rate issues, but maybe we'll see a patch for the game that can sort those out. You can get PAKO Caravan from the UK Switch eShop for £6.29, or from the US eShop for $7.99. Alternatively, the game's also available on iOS and Android. Well, that's about it for this review of PAKO Caravan on the Nintendo Switch. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it, let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section below, and subscribe to the channel to be notified of new reviews I upload every few days. For now though, I just want to thank you all once again for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves and game on.